When children who were previously starving are no longer starving, I would call that an aha moment. Hello world, my name is David Dorn, and this is my aha moment. Although it's not for the week, it's kind of something that happened a while back, but I promised you in my last video that I would tell you of some of the things that I learned and saw and experienced when I was in Haiti back in March of this year. Before I tell you about that, let me give you a little bit of background about my church's experience with Haiti. So about 5 years ago, a group of people from my church went down to Haiti. Now this was before the earthquake, but they went down to assess some ways that they could help. Now while they were down there looking for places that they could help drill wells, they came across this very, very remote village in the northern part of Haiti up towards the mountains. It's a little village called Garot, and it is so remote that if it rains, you could not get to it because you had to drive through a riverbed. And while they were there, they were struck by the fact that all of the children who came running up to them all had orange hair. Now, Haitians don't typically have orange hair. They do, however, have orange hair when they are malnourished. And the group of people from my church were so moved by the fact that all of these children had orange hair, they knew that they needed to do something there and then. It was something that was moving and stirring within them to act. So they took out their wallets, they gathered all the cash that they had on them, they bought a piece of land, and they made a promise to the village that they would be back. And from that, Embrace Haiti was born. Fast forward to March 2014, on a Tuesday, I get a text from one of the other pastors who says, "Hey, would you like to go to Haiti?" I finished reading the text and it asks me to go to Haiti on Thursday. Now, I don't know if you know this or not, but I hate to travel. And I had just gotten back from Israel where I had gotten really sick. So the prospects of going to the poorest country in our hemisphere didn't really excite me much. But I prayed about it and God said go, my wife said go, so I went. I had no idea what I was expecting. I got on a plane, we flew to Fort Lauderdale, and from Fort Lauderdale, my experiences began. Now we flew out of Fort Lauderdale at a time in the morning when even the sun said, "Are you joking? I'm not even up yet." But that morning we flew into Cap Haitian in the northern part of Haiti, which is up in the mountains, and let me tell you, I was completely transfixed on how beautiful this country was. Well, we drove around Cap Haitian, and I had to quickly realize that God did not call me to Haiti to die in a car wreck, so I let go of my nervousness as we were passing people up on the road at 70 miles an hour in massive traffic. It was a little nerve-wracking. So we stayed in Cap Haitian, but we drove out to various places because part of our trip was to assess the medical need and the educational need for our village. So by doing that, we had to go to several other schools and clinics and orphanages just to kind of see what else was being done in this country and how we could get those things connected to the people of Garot. You see, because very early on, we recognized that it won't do any good for this village if we just keep giving them stuff. It will do them good, however, if we empower them and we get Haitians helping Haitians so that when we move on to another village to do this, that the whole system doesn't just implode. There were so many things that touched me about Haiti. The orphanage that we went to that specialized in helping special needs children who had been abandoned by their parents was moving. I had to step away. I was so emotional as we were standing there looking at these poor children who were just being loved on by the adults there. Another moving experience and aha moment for me was when I was asked the night before to preach on a Sunday morning in a small village church where no one spoke English. But it was one of the funnest things I've ever done in my life as I got up in this service and preached for like 30-40 minutes with a translator and got to tell people about the kingdom of God. I was also touched by the amount of people who were in the clinics that were close to our village that were just flooding in. And this was on a daily basis as people just desperately were in need of medical care, especially affordable medical care there in the northern part of the country. But I was most moved when we got to our village, this little village of Garot, and all of these children come running up to the vehicle because they're excited that people are there to visit them. They don't get an awful lot of visitors. And they all just wanted to play and hang out and hold your hand and get you involved in games of soccer. And they wanted to take selfies with you because they had never really gotten a chance to see themselves. So when you pull out your cell phone and you take a picture with them, they all crowd around in order to see their own image, and it was incredible. But one thing that I noticed, I didn't see any children with orange hair. And for me, that was the biggest aha moment. Because this is what it looks like when people who love God and are moved to do other things outside of themselves, give of themselves for years and years. Starving children are no longer starving. But the thing is, we didn't just help these children nutritionally. We've gone into this village and helped them build a school that doubles as a church and have helped pay a principal and school teachers, and we've helped them build a mill and have taught them how to use it so they can improve their economy. We've taught them how to plant and grow things so that they can go and sell things for money. We've taught the adults how to read and write. We've gone in and shown them how to sew so again they can continue to produce goods that can be sold at market for their own village. When you really love someone, you help them holistically. That means spiritually and physically and medically and emotionally and educationally and all of the other things that go into making a person human. But we've really tried not to just give them things, but to help teach them how to do this for themselves, to give them a sense of dignity, and to allow them to be able to take care of themselves in a better way. Now, when we left and came back to the United States, it was really hard because we're now back into the land of opulence and advertising, and that was completely the opposite of what it is like in Haiti. But just because we were here, it doesn't mean things weren't happening back in Haiti. And we've gotten reports from our people on the ground, the Haitians that are working for Embrace Haiti, who are helping out this village. And all of the things that we learned, both about the schools and about the clinics, we've applied, and we've gotten great reports back that this village is now getting better medical care and better education because of the trip that we made and the recommendations that we gave. So that wasn't just my aha moment, it was my aha week as I got to see the world and to see people and to see love in action in a very different way, and I will never forget it. But as always, tell me what you thought in a comment down below, and I'd love to hear what your aha moment has been for the week. You can tweet me at DavidDorn2, hashtag aha moment. I'd love to see those things and respond to you there. But if you enjoyed this video, make sure you like it and subscribe. There'll be a video every week as I am just being constantly shaped by these moments and experiences and conversations that I'm getting to have, and it's changing who I am, and hopefully it will open up your eyes too. But I look forward to seeing you soon. God bless.
Get